recap of expanding two brackets, and the memory aid I gave you in lesson was FOIL. So when we have to expand two brackets, we do the first terms, then the outside terms, then the inside terms, followed by the last terms. And by following this every time, we'll make sure that we do all the multiplications necessary to get the question right. So we're going to start with the first terms. That's the first term there, and that's the first term there in that bracket. So the first terms is going to be x times x. When we do that, we get x squared. Next I've got to do the outside terms. The outside terms are the two terms on the outside. So we got the x and the 3. They're my outside terms because they're on the outside of the brackets. And x times 3 is 3x. Next we've got to do the inside terms. The inside terms are straightforward enough. The two terms on the inside. 7 times x. 7 times x gives me 7x. And lastly, we have to do the last terms. The last terms in this case are the 7 and the 3, because they're the last terms in each bracket. And as you can see, we end up with this pattern every time, so you should have this sort of shape, the different colours, if you're multiplying out. So 7 times 3 gives me 21. Then all I've got to do is tidy it up. So, well, that's the only x squared terms. So I'm going to write down x squared. 3x and 7x gives us 10x. And lastly, the 21 is still on its own. And that's how we expand two brackets. Now let's have a look at another. So I've got to do the first term. So again, let's do it in red. So it's 4x times the 2x. That gives me 4 times 2 is 8. And x times x is x squared. Next I've got to do the outside terms. So the outside terms are 4x times the minus 3. Okay, so be careful with the sign here. 4 times minus 3. 4x times minus 3 gives me minus 12x. And now we got to do the inside terms. The inside terms is the minus 1 and the 2x. So minus 1 times 2x gives me minus 2x. And then finally, we've got to do our last terms. Let's just draw the colour in there so I can know where the inside terms are. Those are the inside terms. We've got to do the last terms now. Last terms are the minus 1 times the minus 3. Minus 1 times minus 3 gives me plus 3. Tidy it up now. Simplify. So we end up with 8x squared minus 12x minus 2x gives me a total of minus 14x. And we still have the plus 3 there. We can't combine that with anything. Last type of question that we'll have to do is something like this. And I just realised that should be there. So when we have something like this, we got 2x plus 5 all squared. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make it look a little bit easier. So that is actually the same as 2x plus 5 times itself times 2x plus 5. When I do the first terms, it's 2x times 2x gives me 4x squared. 2x, so we're doing the outside terms, now 2x times 5 gives me plus 10x. 5 times 2x gives me plus 10x. And then the last terms, 5 times 5 gives me plus 25. Okay, tidying up, we get 4x squared. 10x and 10x is 20x. And we still have the 25 at the end. And that is how we expand two brackets. Now if you want to have a go at some questions, you can always pause the video and give these a go.